it's time to fit the MFC 03, get the cab on, and we'll see where we go from there. So if you've got the MFC already, you will notice that there is an insane amount of wiring. Really, there's no need for this length of wiring. There really isn't, and I don't know what that could be. Literally half the length. The motor wires, that could be a third of the length, because at the end of the day, that's going on there. They're going to fit that in the middle, and the motor wires only need to go to there. A little bit further back if it's an American truck, so why they are this length I don't know. And the battery wires, that will feed down through the floor underneath, so that will all be hidden away, and it really doesn't need to be that long. So I think I'm just going to take a third of that off, move the Tamiya connector down a bit, but that's going to be shortened by 2/3. I'll get some more bullet type connectors and recrimp them on, and these four, my receiver will, I don't know exactly where that's going to go. I thought I do know where that's going to go. That's going to go to the top, so I might fit that just about there in the top corner. So I might fit it there like that. So those wires can be shortened again by 1/3, and then we've got less wire to manage. So I'm going to figure out how long they need to be, and then I'm going to get busy with all kinds of cutters, crimpers, connectors, and I don't know. Let's just do the job. I'm not going to solder. I'm not going to cut them. I'm not going to fold them because it gets a bit bulky. I'm just going to shorten them by 1/3 with some new crimps. So let me do that and I shall be right back. Okie dokie. Right, shorten these wires to a little bit more manageable length. I've shortened the motor wires, not too short, because obviously things need to tilt forward if I need to tilt the cab. I have connected the gear shift servo straight into channel 5 of the receiver, so I can use the 3-way switch on my radio to change gear, so I don't have the gear change on the left stick, because sometimes when you're throttling up you can just move it across a little bit and you get cogging when the gears don't mesh quite right. Now you've noticed I haven't plugged in any of my leads yet, and I haven't put any of the stickers on because I don't need them. Obviously I've done plenty before. I know the green and black is J12 and the wires are still here, but I do have some more spiral wrap which I get in the kit, will be covering most of those. So right now I mean, I can start plugging these in, J12 in the bottom, steer servo is J8, which is that one. Obviously this will be all tidied up, and then we need really to fit the cab. We can fit the cab now because we have wires that are coming out of the cab, and that's not really that far off. So move these this way. Right, we need to get the bumper finished, and that looks quite nice, all wrapped up, ready to go in. There's going to be a lot of cable management right there, but I need to fit the lower steps now so we can move on. Thing somewhere, so there's the steps. That looks nice against the white, and I need to get the cab onto this. Yeah, I printed a new interior out. As I said in the last video, I airbrushed out the seats that was coming up. We're not really going to see the mess that I've made, really. So right, let's get this on, and let's get the cab on, get the screws ready and my screwdriver, and make sure those wires are behind the wall. Oops, that's fallen out. Lift the back of the cab. Come on. You're there somewhere. There. Just make sure that that's square and sat down at the back, which it is. So that can just screw in there. I like it. It's coming together. It's nice when it comes together. Why isn't that lining up? There it is. Just a bit of a jiggle around. And the bumper. Come on, why aren't you going on? That's on. And that's on. And they're going into a metal bracket, so that looks pretty good. We need to get those wires inside, and to do that I'm just going to get a couple of foam pads and turn the whole truck on its nose. bearing in mind that the cab is still not secure. So there that is, and then this needs to go up this side away from the gear shift servo, towards the back, making sure I don't catch the cab. I'll lie that down on there. So it needs to go up there with the rest of the cables. That's a lot of cables that's going to end up in the cab. A lot. Right, let's tilt the cab forward. Top side first. So that looks pretty neat. So yeah, let's move that around a little bit, and as you can see, that's going on there. There's plenty of room between that servo. We could dot these leads with a little bit of paint, but once the cab is down and the wheel fenders come down to this step, you don't see them. So I might just put a bit of black on just for the sake of it. Right, put this back on its proper side. And this is why we have this on a hinge. I've got a piece of material to support that so it doesn't flop forward, because we haven't got the cab stay on the right hand side door. I don't like it. So now we've got to thread these through, get a pair of gonna see where I'm poking these first. So I'll need a battery with an adapter, because it's Tamiya connections and I use EC3. Right, let's move you here and we'll turn this around. Because we're going to need to see what we're doing. So I'm going to move this round. Don't need any more wire leads, I don't think. But we'll see. I'm not going to put that under there. Let's get a battery in it. Well, not in it, let's get a power source to it. And one small technicality to address before is to create a model. And we'll go on to Acro model number 9. Bind, and then I can hold the bind button, turn it on, it will go into bind. You can see it just flickering there, and then I go on to bind. Right, you can see what I can see. I'm going to plug in these lights. I'm going to switch this control box on to I mean, obviously the hazard warning lights are all going to flash together, so that's a little bit useless to go on at the moment. So I'm going to go stage 1 of lights, which hopefully none of them come on. Nope. And let me get my notepad. Right, I wrote these down quite a while ago. So first stage is J15 and J16, which are the next one's down from the headlight flash, which is J17 there. So what do I want to come on first down here? So we have these ones just here. They're the DRLs, which I'm hoping that's J16, so that should come on with the first ones. 1, 2, 3 off. So that's good. So what else do I want on at the same time in first stage? So right, that should be DRLs with the cab lights. That's the indicators on and off. Next stage of lights. They just ramp up and off. So 1, 2, 3. And headlight flash. There we go. Right, I need to calibrate this thing before. Let's see if the beacons work. They work. Change pattern. Not off. Excellent, they work. Right, I need to calibrate it, and I need to get all these wires tied up and calibrate it and get those to work, because they're not actually plugged into anything at the moment, and I think that needs to be plugged into J20. Right, BRB. That is as much as I'm going to do. I'm not doing this side just yet because I still need to figure out how long I need that battery wire. I'm not putting on the servo coupler just yet, because that should go there. That should go there like that, but I'm getting one of those adjustable stainless steel ones, so that might end up coming a bit further up this way. If it will go, let me see. Yeah, it's not going to catch the drive shaft on the bottom of the servo, so that can come up quite a way. So before I fix that in place and then route that into the thing, what I might do, I'll turn that around, or shall I just do that with the servo? Yeah, I'll do that, and then that should get to the front and then plug into J9, I believe it is. So that's where I am with the wiring. I'll leave a little bit of free play on them, because if I need to unplug them or anything, then I will. I'll just put some heat shrink sleeving here. I just routed it through and put a double-sided sticky pad underneath, and then these are not being pulled tight by anything, and when the cab comes down, that is going to just fit down nicely, and then that's it. So as far as you can see, there's only the battery wire that needs routing to somewhere that's out of the way. There's no wires in there, and no wires showing anywhere in there. So let's see where we are with the lights. And we need a battery. Would be a good idea. And then turn on the radio. I want to see if there's a default for these to be off. When you start it up. So to start, and we have lights. And we have hazards, and we have daylight running lights, we have headlights and cab marker lights, we have the lower fog lights, and the so if we zoom in, we can see that there is a little bit of an interior in there. Pretty good. Let's get the hazards on. Right, you see the side repeater just there. We can see then the reflection Oh, we've got an indicator out. So we can have a quick look at what that is. And that will just be something really simple. So this is the rear. It's not plugged in. There we go. I couldn't have pushed it in hard enough. Pull that beacon cable down. And that should be. That's it. That one's working. And that one's working also. So, there we have it. Let's get some wheels on. Okay, that is the fender tops on, wheel arch tops, whatever you call them in your part of the world. And now we're going to fit the side skirts. Now we've finished juggling around with it. So that needed to go on afterwards. So just pop that off because there's a screw behind there. And that hooks over a thing on the battery tray. Ooh, that's looking nice. And that looks pretty good. Wheels. We got some super single for the front, and let's get these all out ready. Wheel hex. And we're getting these little custom hubs that I've had for a while. I'm sure I've got the little key out for it. I did, which is just like a lock-in wheel nut that just fits on. Now I'm not expecting miracles, and I am expecting a little bit of scratching on them. Super singles, I'm going to put a little shim behind them because the offset is a little bit more than the stock, and I want them to kind of not go in as far, even if it's just a millimetre or so. And from memory, I think the Hercules hobby wheels, which what these are, they do bind up a little bit. So just back that nylock off just a little bit, and that runs pretty good. I'm going to hit that wheel nut with a little bit of yellow paint, just to take the silver off. And that's gone on too far because the hex isn't on. And that's on. Thin tissue. That what size is that? Not that size. 7mm. So that can go on there. Helping. But you can't do much about it unless you start using pliers, and that's not good. Excellent. They look brillianty. Slight amount of chipping on that. I have just touched these 3 screws with yellow. So yeah, that looks pretty good as it is. And we need to let's fit these side windows. Just take some of that yellow off, that silver off, should I say. It will need a couple of coats. Alright, that does look rather nice. Ainscough crane hire. Yeah, I was having a nice conversation with somebody that's into the heavy haul, does it professionally, and operated cranes, all kinds of machinery, and yeah, I've just been talking to him. He's a very good friend. And can't wait to see it. He's like watching paint dry this. That looks like a proper workhorse, that. Good suspension travel. That's because I left off the bump stops, if you can remember from previous episodes. And yeah, I am going to have a good clean up of my bench, and yeah, that's about ready. I will be back in the next episode when I'm just going to be adding the finishing touches. I'm going to hopefully disguise these 2 holes with the sign writing, if I can get the sizing right, Never done that before, so that will be interesting and quite a learning curve. Fifth wheel slider, fix that, and I think that's about it. What do you think? Something I've missed, something I need to do? I don't know. Leave some comments down below and let me know what you think. In the meantime, thank you for watching.